This is the story of a strong woman who, despite the challenges life threw her way, found love again. A few days after her unexpected encounter with Luke, Amelia found herself thinking about him more than she wanted to admit. The memory of his calloused hands, his genuine smile, and the sincerity in his eyes lingered. His presence had been a jolt to her carefully constructed world, a reminder of life outside the boardroom and the sterile walls of her apartment. Despite herself, she found his rugged charm and quiet strength intriguing. Unable to shake off these thoughts, she decided to give this situation another chance. A small part of her, a part she'd kept dormant for years, stirred with anticipation. Could this ill-fated blind date lead to something more? Was she ready to open her heart again? Only time would tell. Over the next week, Amelia and Luke began seeing each other regularly. Their initial awkwardness faded away, replaced by comfortable silences and shared laughter. Amelia discovered a new side to Luke. He was a man of few words, but when he spoke, his honesty resonated like a soothing balm. He loved tinkering in his garage, breathing new life into old engines. It was a sanctuary for him, a place where he found solace and purpose. Watching him in his element, Amelia felt a warmth spread through her chest, a feeling she hadn't allowed herself to nurture. In Luke's presence, she shed the layers of pretense and formality she'd grown accustomed to. Here, in this down-to-earth environment, she was simply Amelia, the woman stripped bare of her CEO persona. As their bond deepened, Amelia began to confront the walls she'd so meticulously built around her heart. Luke's unwavering support and genuine affection chipped away at the barriers she'd erected against love. She found herself opening up to him, sharing her fears, her dreams, and the pain she'd kept buried for far too long. Meanwhile, Luke, too, was experiencing a transformation. Amelia's strength, resilience, and kindness touched him deeply. He was drawn to her sharp intellect and the vulnerability she so carefully concealed. As he got to know her, he developed a profound respect and affection for her. Their connection was undeniable, but Luke harbored his own insecurities. He worried that his rough edges and modest beginnings might not be enough for someone like Amelia, someone who seemed destined for a world of sophistication and polish. Yet, with each passing day, he pushed those doubts aside, choosing instead to cherish the moments they shared. He wouldn't deny the spark between them. There was a palpable chemistry when their hands met, when their eyes locked. It was as if a silent understanding had formed between them, bridging the gap between their different worlds. One rainy afternoon, Amelia found herself sitting in Luke's garage, surrounded by tools and half-dismantled engines. The scent of oil and metal hung in the air, a stark contrast to the perfume and leather she was accustomed to. As she watched Luke work on a vintage motorcycle, a sense of peace settled over her. This was a far cry from the world she usually inhabited, yet she felt strangely at home here. Suddenly, the garage door rumbled up, revealing a young girl with wide, curious eyes. "Daddy, what does this one do?" she asked, pointing to an array of levers and wires. Before Luke could respond, Amelia stepped forward, her gaze meeting the little girl's. "That, my dear, is a carburetor. It helps the engine breathe, supplying the right air-fuel mixture to keep it running smoothly." The girl's eyes widened in amazement. "Wow, you know a lot," she exclaimed. Turning to Luke, Amelia added, "Quite the little mechanic you have here, Luke." He smiled, his cheeks flushed. "She likes to help out, just like her mother," he said, his eyes momentarily distant. Seeing this tender exchange between father and daughter, Amelia felt a pang of empathy. She knew firsthand the pain of losing a parent. Her mother had passed away when she was just a teenager, leaving her father to raise her alone. As the weeks went by, Amelia continued to spend more time at Luke's place, helping him with chores, fixing up furniture, and even learning how to ride a motorcycle. Each day she grew closer to him, discovering a depth of character and a strength of spirit that went beyond his calloused hands and grease-stained overalls. She found comfort in his quiet confidence, his unwavering support, and the genuine love he shared with his daughter. As their relationship deepened, Amelia realized that her feelings for Luke were growing stronger. She found herself drawn to his steadfast nature, his kind heart, and the way he made her laugh. Despite their different backgrounds and lifestyles, she knew there was something special between them, something real, something worth fighting for. However, as Amelia delved deeper into her feelings for Luke, she also faced a growing dilemma. How could she possibly bridge the gap between their two worlds? Could she ever truly fit into his modest life? Or would her presence always be a reminder of everything he lacked? The more time she spent with him, the more these questions plagued her. She longed to be with him, but the thought of leaving behind everything she had worked so hard to build terrified her. Amelia wrestled with these thoughts, torn between the familiar comfort of her old life and the uncertain allure of a new beginning with Luke. The turning point came unexpectedly during a quiet evening at home. As Amelia sat by herself, the silence pressing in on her, she realized she couldn't ignore her feelings for Luke any longer. She loved him, and it was time to face that truth. With newfound resolve, she picked up her phone and dialed his number, her heart pounding in her chest. When he answered, his familiar voice sending a wave of warmth through her, she took a deep breath and began to speak. "Luke, I need to talk to you." On the other end of the line, Luke's heart skipped a beat as he heard the urgency in Amelia's voice. Setting aside what he was working on, he headed out to his truck, needing a bit of privacy to talk. As he drove towards her place, his mind raced with possibilities. Had something happened? Was everything all right? Pulling up outside her apartment complex, he cut the engine and stepped out, his gaze searching the building. Moments later, Amelia appeared at the top of the stairs, her silhouette framed by the dim light. Relief washed over Luke as he saw her standing there. The conversation that followed was filled with emotion. Amelia, her voice trembling slightly, confessed her growing feelings for Luke. She told him how his presence had changed her life, how he had brought laughter and warmth back into her world. She admitted that she had been afraid of her own feelings and the uncertainty of the future. But she knew she couldn't deny her heart's desires any longer. Listening intently, Luke felt a surge of happiness mixed with disbelief. He had hoped that Amelia felt something for him, but to hear her confess her love was a dream come true. Overwhelmed with emotion, he responded, "Amelia, I love you too. I've loved you from the moment I saw you, even if I didn't know it myself." In that moment, they embraced, their differences fading away. The chasm that had seemed so vast before was now bridged by their shared love. Hand in hand, they walked towards Luke's truck, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that together they could overcome anything. As they drove away from Amelia's apartment, a sense of excitement and anticipation filled the air. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Their love for each other was a guiding light, leading them towards a new beginning. The story of the paralyzed CEO and the garage owner reminds us that love knows no bounds. It can blossom in the most unexpected places and heal even the deepest wounds.